Hello and welcome. My name's Leanne. I live in Australia and this is my crafty cupboard. Welcome back to my Roxy's Journaler Stitchery Volume 4, or my take on the challenge that the sisters have set us. And the prompt this time was something found. And so I chose items that I found in a cute little store. So in November, my husband and I went to Melbourne to celebrate our wedding anniversary. That's a fib, I tell a lie. This time we didn't go to Melbourne. In fact, we flew into Avalon and hired a car and stayed in country Victoria. So we visited Ballarat and Clunes and two towns that I'd like Victorians to correct me on, because I would have thought the towns were called Creswick and Ballan, and like Berwick is not Berwick. I don't know, but Ballan sounds like an Aboriginal word to me. But when I was there and I asked, I was told it's Ballan and Creswick. So I'm curious what the correct pronunciations are. Regardless, fabulous places to visit. We had loveliest time and it was fascinating driving around seeing the landscape as well. Anyway, in the town I was told is Ballan, is a really lovely store. Chrissy's Timeless Treasures. And it's a tiny store, but oh my goodness, I spent so long in there because it's just packed to the rafters of amazing little bits to sew with. And so there I picked up this cute little flower motif, little crochet part of a doily, and a sweet little cherub in a heart, which I thought was fitting because we had a cherub theme throughout our wedding all those years ago. So I'm going to use these as my something found. So I'm just going to embellish them a little bit and add them to this side of my vintage sewing box. Okay, so my idea with this is to just embellish it a little further with really delicate embroidery. So I'm going to use very tricky when they've been on those cards. And these are second-hand, these ones, so they could have been on those cards for a very long time. Maybe I should stitch this down a little first. I find it easiest to create when I have everything spread out in front of me on the table. But then you do things like this. Get scissors tangled in ribbon. If it's a small piece, I like to work with just the things I need, but I'm getting to that stage with this box now that I sort of want it all laid out so I can see what I've done, you know, how I'd like the piece to progress. So if you haven't watched before, I'm doing a Victorian sewing box. So it's a hexagon box. And when you take the lid off, the sides open out to reveal all your sewing treasures. I've never done this before. Embroider on a crocheted piece. Hopefully it works. So I'm just doing a little bit of a running stitch around to hold it on. The sun has just come up very intensely. Hopefully that's not interfering with you seeing too much. Yeah, so in Chrissy's Timeless Treasures there were beautiful fabrics and vintage doilies. I spent ages rummaging through the basket of vintage doilies. But then also there were, these motifs already cut up. And lovely charms and in the same store is an incredible quilting store. It's incredibly beautiful. Milrose Quilting and Gallery. Wow. Just wow. I was in awe of all the amazing fabrics they had there. And I picked up a linen piece that was pre-stamped with Christmas trees to embroider. Lovely swirly Christmas trees with beading on them. So that will be a piece to work on towards Christmas 2024. I've done one tree so far. Yeah, we honestly had the best day there too. There was an incredible sort of treasure trove type place as well with secondhand goods that unfortunately by the time I came back, because we'd parked near there, and I said let's do that last, but I'd spent so long in the other stores, unfortunately it had closed. So another day, another time, go back there and go fossicking. But yeah, we ate a delicious sandwich at a cafe there, and there was a busker playing saxophone. It was just fabulous. I think you always know you've had a great holiday somewhere when you find yourself looking at the real estate there and daydreaming. What would it be like? It's always that way on holiday though, isn't it? When you leave behind all the pressures of, the realities of life, like working, so you have money to do things. I might leave those ones unsecured just to give it a little bit of lift and movement. Oh. Okay, now where'd my little ribbon go? So when you're working with ribbons for embroidery, you just put the needle through like that just to secure it in your needle. And with the tail you can knot it, but I'm a knotter, so I like to knot it. If you don't knot it, you either couch down the thread on the underside or catch it down as you're stitching. Okay, so I'm just going to do little French knots to make little buds of flowers. We got very, very lucky with the hire car too. The hire car place was extremely busy, and so we decided just to sit and relax and wait instead of standing in queue for ages. And when it was our turn, I'd hired a Camry or similar, and they had a brand new RAV4 that they gave us. And it was quite the experience because you're very high up. We drive a Civic, which is very low. So it was quite a different experience to be driving around being so high up. And it had a lot of sort of modern safety features, like my husband said it was fighting him at one stage. It actually steered him back into lane. It actually sort of semi-steers for you and auto brakes. So that was a real treat. And on our last day, because I sort of plotted everything out on Google Maps, to work out our itinerary. On the last day, on our way back to the airport, I thought, let's stop off at Gail's Patchwork Emporium. Oh my goodness. But I was having the loveliest browse there. So it's this beautiful stone house, and it's just filled with the best goodies inside. And the women there were absolutely lovely. But we sort of no sooner got there, and I'm having a lovely time starting to explore. And then my husband sort of asking me questions about what time's the flight again, etc. And we worked out that we instantly had to leave. Like, didn't have enough time. So I quickly bought some items that I had in my hand, and that's definitely a place I want to go back to and have a look at again. Just stunning. Oh, I might have done the knot around this a bit tight. It's not coming through. Come on. Okay. Yes, so we sort of left and drove, and luckily we drove without incident or delays. And so, made it there just in time to go through security and grab a drink and board. My husband was pulled aside and his bag thoroughly checked because it was so tightly packed. Because we both just travelled with a little carry-on bag each, like a little carry-on bag. He had his tiny work backpack, and I had a bag that I sewed. This is it, actually, hanging right here. So this is Oh, I can't zoom out enough here to see it. It's a bag pattern by Monica Poole, and absolutely love it. This is the second one that I've made, and the sides are just plain, but yeah, I just did this sort of extra feature on them. And like I say, I love it. So yeah, I find when I go away for a night or a weekend, that's plenty. Big bags. That's just the size of a medium-sized handbag, I guess. So I'm going to add a little bit of green around it. Just a little fly stitch. The other thing I bought at Milrose was a few more cottage garden threads, the variegateds. So this is sage, which is just lovely. Go through different greens to creams. And then this one, I don't remember the name anymore. I had bought a variegated blue. Yes, I tend to always just buy second-hand threads. But it's not so common to come across variegateds. Hand-dyed ones second-hand, so I think when I buy threads, that tends to be what I grab. It's nice to support businesses in Australia, people making beautiful things, living a creative life. This will just be a subtle little piece of green. Some parts of this are harder to get through than others. Now, do I want to just do it very short or take it through? Might just do it very short. Just through to the top of that space. So fly stitch is like a Y shape. So you come up, go down. Don't pull it all the way through. Bring your needle back up. At the base of the Y. Now pull it through. And take a little stitch. I just had a glance at the camera. The sun actually might be completely putting my work in shadow, is it? I am getting to the point where I'm really looking forward to finishing this project so I can tidy up all these things. Yep. So most of my beads are Mill Hill that I both pick up secondhand or purchase. So I'm just slowly adding to my collection because I really enjoy working with beads. Just adds a pretty bling to the work. But I buy these little glass vials to put them in because these packets are the most horrendous things. I guess they're good because they keep them secure in store, but every time you open them, because they grip so tightly, all your beads just explode everywhere in the air. So I tend to take them out. And I've never kept record of which numbers I have or anything like that because I tend to freely create. It doesn't matter to me what the numbers are or keeping track of them. I'm just like, that one looks pretty, I'll use that. This is actually very fun. I think I might do more of this in the future. And so this side of the box will be a very less is more approach because give the eyes some quiet to contemplate, because other sides of the box are very abundant. This will now be a lovely memento of our weekend away. So, if you're in Australia, I'd love to hear from you. Where are some other wonderful places to spend a weekend? There has to be amazing landscape to look at, please. And charming towns to visit. Hopefully some gorgeous second-hand stores or craft stores. Beautiful bookstores. So it was an open garden weekend as well in Creswick or Creswick. And oh my goodness, I saw them as spectacular gardens. Oh, they were so amazing. Yeah, it was just my dream weekend, honestly. Country towns, lovely people, good food. That's cool. Relaxed driving, amazing scenery, flowers, flowers, flowers. Craft.
What that plant is, it's grown all around it.
On our last morning as well, actually, this is why I ran out of time. At Gail's Patchwork Emporium, didn't have enough time there because on the way back to the airport, we stopped off at the Botanical Gardens in Ballarat. Oh my goodness. And their art gallery, we did the art gallery the day before. Wow. But the botanical gardens were just, I honestly didn't expect anything that big or beautiful. You know, I just sort of thought it would be a small sort of park. Stunning. So stunning. So yeah, we spent altogether too long there. But it was well worth it. Yes, it was on my list of things to do early on, but it was quite hot. So we opted for more indoory things. But on the last morning I said, well, let's just swing by and have a look. They've got amazing statues. They've got an avenue of prime ministers, so they've got all these busts of our prime ministers. A beautiful, is it a lake? There's a beautiful body of water there with a lovely cafe beside it. We sat and I had a pot of tea. My husband had a hot chocolate. Okay, my something found. I found them in a store, that's okay. I found a lot of happiness, joy, peace and tranquility in country Victoria. Each time I look at this piece, I'll be able to remember that time spent there, and a little reminder to myself to definitely go back. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.